Everyone wants to be rich, right? Obviously, because nobody dreams of being broke and miserable. But here's what's interesting. Everyone talks about how to get rich. Books about it, videos about it, podcasts about it. The same advice over and over. What nobody talks about? How to become broke. And that's actually way more valuable information. Because here's the truth. It's easy to lose money. It's hard to keep it. So instead of another get-rich-quick video, let's talk about the fastest, most reliable ways to end up completely broke. And if you know how to avoid them, you're already winning. Before we dive in, here's why this matters. Rich people didn't just get rich and stay rich. They got smart about what not to do. They learned the mistakes that destroy people financially, and they actively avoided those traps. Poor people, they often stumble into these traps without even knowing what hit them. So this isn't about being negative. It's about being preventative. If you can avoid these 10 mistakes, you're already ahead of 90% of people who will never figure it out. Way number 1 to go broke. Never learn anything about money. Just don't. Don't read about investing. Don't understand compound interest. Don't know what inflation means. Stay completely financially illiterate. And here's the thing. This actually works. It will make you broke. Why? Because money doesn't care if you understand it. It works whether you pay attention or not. If you don't understand how money moves, how it grows, how it disappears, you're basically sleepwalking through life with your wallet open. There's a guy named Ronald Read. Poor family. His whole life, he worked as a gas station attendant and janitor, like bottom-of-the-ladder jobs. But you know what he did? He learned. He read about investing. He understood compound interest. He died in 2014 with $8 million. $8 million from pumping gas. Meanwhile, people making 3x his salary are broke because they never bothered to learn. The difference? One person learned, one person didn't. Way number 2 to go broke, spend every single dollar you earn. This is the classic path to poverty, and it's so easy. You see influencers on social media with fancy cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations. It looks amazing, so you decide, I'm going to live like that too. You get paid, you spend it. All of it. On dinners out, on gadgets, on clothes you don't need. Then the money runs out. And here's where most people go wrong. Instead of cutting back, they take out credit card debt. I'll pay it back later, they think. And now you're trapped, because now there's interest, and the interest is eating you alive. Current data from 2024, average American has $8,600 in credit card debt. But here's the crazy part. A March 2024 survey showed that 36% of Americans know the economy's bad, inflation is destroying their savings, and they're still planning to take on debt for summer vacations. 45% of parents admitted to going into debt for Disney vacations, and they had no regrets. We live in crisis, but we spend like we're in a boom economy, and that gap is where poverty comes from. Way number 3 to go broke? Never make a plan. Just wing it. There's an ancient Chinese military strategist, Sun Tzu, who said victorious warriors win first, then go to war. Defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Translation, winners plan, losers just go. And this applies to money more than anything. The most basic financial plan is a budget. A budget is just how much am I spending, on what, how much is left. But most people don't have one, so they think they're fine until suddenly they're not. You think you have money, turns out you don't, because you have no idea where it went. Set a budget. Decide how much for food, rent, utilities, entertainment. Then see what's left for saving and investing. Without a plan, you're just drifting, and drifting leads to broke. Way number 4 to go broke, develop expensive addictions. Drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex work, these aren't just lifestyle problems, they're money problems. Drugs? Expensive, plus medical bills when it destroys your body. Gambling? The house always wins. Sure, you might win $100, but you probably spent $1,000 to make that 100. That's not a win. Sex work addiction? Destroys your money, your family, could end in divorce where you lose half of everything. Real example, Michael Carroll, UK guy, won £9.7 million in the lottery in 2002. Instead of planning how to use it, he spent it all on drugs, alcohol, and sex parties. By 2010, broke, back to his old job as a garbage collector. And he said he had no regrets. That's how addictions work. They destroy you and your money simultaneously. Way number 5 to go broke: let FOMO control your money decisions. FOMO is fear of missing out. It's when you see everyone talking about something and you panic that you're missing the opportunity of a lifetime. Example, Dogecoin in 2021 started as a joke, but suddenly everyone was talking about it. Elon Musk tweeted about it, your friends were talking about it, and you panicked. If I don't buy now, the price will go to the moon without me. So you threw your savings into Dogecoin even though you didn't understand cryptocurrency at all. The price peaked at $0.74. You thought you'd make millions. By the end of 2021, it dropped to $0.17. You lost 80% of your money because you made an emotional decision based on FOMO. And this happens constantly. Crypto, stocks, get-rich-quick scams. All of them are FOMO-driven. People lose life savings because they're scared of missing out. Way number 6 to go broke: chase get-rich-quick schemes. Here's the thing. 99% of get-rich-quick schemes are actually get-poor-quick traps. They promise high returns, low risk, make money while you sleep. And it sounds amazing because it is a scam. Real example, Bernie Madoff ran a Ponzi scheme for decades, promised steady, high returns with minimal risk. Thousands of people invested their life savings. Turns out the returns were fake. He was using new investors' money to pay old investors. When it collapsed, thousands of people lost everything. And here's the logic test. If making money was really this easy, why would the person telling you about it need your money? If they'd really found this secret to easy riches, wouldn't they just do it themselves and become billionaires quietly? The fact that they need you is the biggest red flag possible. MLMs, crypto schemes, guaranteed returns, all of them rely on your FOMO and your desperation, and all of them will make you broke. Way number 7 to go broke: never save, spend everything. You hear financial influencers say, don't let your money sit in the bank doing nothing. Invest it so your money works for you. It's true that investing grows your wealth, but they skip over something critical. Investments fluctuate. They're not always accessible when you need them. This is why you need an emergency fund first. An emergency fund is money set aside for unexpected stuff. Job loss, medical emergency, your car breaks down, pandemic. The formula? Save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This is not optional. This is critical. Because without an emergency fund, when something unexpected happens, you're forced to take out high-interest debt. And high-interest debt is the debt trap that keeps people poor forever. During the pandemic, 14% of Americans completely wiped out their emergency savings just to survive. Without that safety net, they're now trapped in debt. If you don't have savings, you're one emergency away from being broke. Way number 8 to go broke: buy expensive things that lose value. There's a difference between assets and liabilities. Asset, something that makes you money, more keeps its value. Rental property, stock, investment. A liability is something that costs you money. Your house, if you just live in it. Your car. Most people see a fancy new car and think, this is an investment. No, that car is a liability. It loses 10% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Whether you buy a Porsche or a Toyota, it gets you from A to B, but one costs way more and loses value faster. Yet people take out loans for fancy cars. So now they're paying interest on an asset that's losing value. That's the opposite of wealth building. When you're broke or struggling, buy the cheap car, the used car, drive it until it dies. When you're rich, buy the fancy car, but by then it barely affects your net worth. Most people do it backwards and wonder why they're broke. Way number 9 to go broke: destroy your health and ignore it. In countries like America without free healthcare, health problems equal financial catastrophe. Unhealthy habits, junk food, sugary drinks, no sleep, they seem fine now. But 10, 20, 30 years later, your body breaks down and the medical bills are crushing. Investing in your health is actually the best financial decision you can make. Healthy people work longer, miss fewer workdays, have lower medical bills, live longer to enjoy their wealth. Unhealthy people, destroyed by medical debt, can't work, drain savings on hospitals. Your health is your wealth, period. Way number 10 to go broke: spend all your time with people who are also going broke. There's a saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Your social circle determines your financial future. If you hang out with gamers, you'll talk about gaming. If you hang out with investors, you'll talk about investments. If you hang out with people who are broke, addicted, making bad financial decisions, you'll do the same. A real example: Tiger Woods, greatest golfer ever, admired by millions, rich beyond measure. Then he befriended Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, both known for serious gambling problems. They influenced Tiger. He started gambling, $100,000 bets, then $200,000 bets. Over time, he lost an estimated $50 million to gambling. Same guy, same talent, different social circle equals financial disaster. Your friends literally determine your bank account. Choose carefully. So there you have it, the 10 fastest ways to go broke. And here's what's interesting. Most of these are choices. Bad choices, but choices. You choose to not learn about money. You choose to spend everything. You choose to make emotional decisions. Which means you can also choose to do the opposite. Getting rich is only half the battle. Staying rich is the other half. Rich people lose everything all the time because they fall into these traps. Don't be that person. Avoid these 10 mistakes, and you're already ahead of 90% of people who will never figure it out. Drop a comment. Which of these mistakes have you seen destroy people financially? Subscribe for more honest breakdowns of how money actually works. And if you want me to explain any of these in more detail, let me know.